Alright guys, so today we got a pretty exciting video because we have the PlayStation DualSense Edge controller that is new for the PS5. So PlayStation is kind of overdue on something pro, and hopefully the Dual Edge Sense here will fill the need. So this is the box it comes in. It's not very large, but it is a bit bigger than your normal controller box, as we do have a few accessories in there with it. So on the front here we can see what the controller looks like. It looks very similar to the regular one, which is fine, but I do wish or hope that they will come out with different variations in colors. So going to the side, we can see here everything that's included. We got the controller, braided USB cable, 2 standard caps, high dome caps, low dome caps, half dome back buttons, lever back buttons, connector housing, carrying case, and instruction manual. So yeah, it has quite a few things inside. And on the other side, we just have a picture of the remote. It says here that it's compatible with the PlayStation 5. So going to the back, we got a pretty interesting picture here with all the parts and pieces. And yeah, very cool that you can remove the joysticks and also change the caps, and back buttons and faceplate also comes off, which is pretty cool, as probably you can customize that. And speaking of customizing, it's ultra customizable with software, mappable back buttons with adaptive haptic feedback, as the original does, but this one is controlled also. And obviously very versatile with replaceable modules. So yeah, let's go ahead and open it up. So we got a PlayStation seal here and another seal. And what's interesting is we also got a little store hanging tab here. Yeah, it looks like we have a box in a box. Very nice presentation, and Sony's been doing pretty good here with boxing lately. Let's see, so it pops open and this is what's inside. And it looks like everything is in here. Below that we do have the manual, so yeah, I guess could be useful if you want to look at it. All right, so let's see what's in here. That's pretty exciting. So we got this little felt bag, and check it out guys, we got a hard case for the controller, and it's pretty nice. We got little PlayStation signature writings here, and yeah, it looks very good with the logo up front. Very nice little zippers here. A lot of attention to detail. Little grab handles with PlayStation logos on them, and also a little clip here that you can clip it to something. Yeah, very cool. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Feels quite premium here right from the start. And check it out guys, wow, very nice presentation. So we got the remote down here and the cable up here. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the controller out. And right off the bat, I have to say it looks pretty normal and actually is very familiar, as you would expect, I guess. Let's pull this off. Looks pretty good. Now, the first thing I'm noticing I don't like already is this glossy finish. And I didn't like it originally on the PlayStation 5. I'm surprised they're continuing to do this, as the glossiness does go around here also. Now, I was hoping that they would give us more matte, but I guess they're sticking to their glossy theme for now. And I'm pretty sure with popular demand, they will probably bring out some really nice color combinations for this. So starting here on top, you guys can see we got really nice patterns on the touchpad. There are a bunch of little X, O's, and triangles. Kind of hard to see maybe, but yeah, very nice attention to detail. They're not very tall, so I can barely feel them, but they are kind of there. So almost like imprinted, barely. So it looks like we have the typical lighting around here. We've got our share menu button as usual. So yeah, all the controls look very familiar, with the mute button here, the PlayStation microphone port, our joysticks here. Pretty good. Actually feel a little different. They're more precise feeling. So this is what our buttons look like. They're kind of shiny, but they are blacked out. They look very nice. So here we have some more buttons. It says function on them. We still have the charging port here with headphone jack, and this should work with any normal charger that works with all the other remotes. So going to the front here, we can see there's a little Sony logo, USB Type-C plug. We got the L1, L2, and also the R1, R2. So yeah, everything looks good. Also on the L2 and R2, there's little X triangles and O's there. That's for the grip, and these are a little more pronounced, and you can definitely feel them. And yeah, that feels really good. And these are really smooth and precise. So going to the very back, we can see we got the adjusters here for the triggers. So right now they're all the way up, so it goes all the way down. And if we go one down, it's gonna stop a little earlier. And if we go all the way down, they're gonna stop really early. So this is good for adjusting your triggers to depending on what you're playing. So if you're playing something like a fast shooter, you want it to, click as fast as possible. And if you're playing like a racing game, you want it to be modulation. So you can, modulate the throttle correctly. So yeah, very nice. That's incorporated, and it's quite simple. It's just a little toggle here. So here we have some mumbo jumbo, and here you guys can see that's where our paddles click in for extra buttons. And we do have a couple to choose from, so we'll look at that in a second. And they are called RB and LB for left back and right back. And here we have a little release, and that releases the front fascia here. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that. Yeah, that was pretty simple. And look at that, the front grill comes off. And man, does the controller look already better without that chrome. So yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty tempted to paint this thing, but it does have that microphone logo on there, so we'll see. I don't know, probably keep it for now, but eventually I'm sure I'll be tempted to do something about that. But yeah, under here, what happens is you can get to your joystick modules, and these actually do unclick, and there's like a metal tab here that you gotta raise. And it kind of clicks it out, and now you can pull it out completely. And it just connects just like that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this remote is made to wear it out and then change the parts when you need them. So yeah, I'm glad to see Sony doing something interesting, as this is definitely needed and pretty well executed, to be honest, and feels very high quality overall. So let's go ahead and put this back on, and just clips on, and let's look at what else we got in the case here. So we have the cable lock. So this is gonna lock the cable to the remote, and we'll check that out in a second. We got the 4 different caps, not including the ones that are on there. So they're like different heights. So one of them is a little taller and the other one is shorter. And by the way, guys, all this stuff here is like a rubber, and it all goes in very nicely and holds. So here we have the back buttons, and you've got a couple to choose from. You got kind of like these paddles that are longer, or you can choose the shorter ones, and they are metal, quite nice and impressive. And we're going to try that in a second also, but let's check out this cable first. This is a very nice braided cable. It is quite long. Actually, guys, very long. It looks like about 8 feet or so. So you got a lot of cable, and it is quite thick. And the 2 ends are USB type C, which will go in the controller, and then the regular USB-A will go in the PlayStation. And if we grab the cord locker, I'm going to open it up here, and our cord will literally slide right in there with the USB type C inside, and then locks. And now you can put it in the controller and then lock it. You can kind of see a couple metal tabs that poke out, and that grabs the controller here. So yeah, if we just plug it in, and you got to make sure you go all the way down, and that's going to keep it from coming out. So yeah, for pro players, this is a big deal. If you're going to use this remote for competition or any kind of competitive playing, you're going to want to use this cord. Not only are you going to get, faster response times, you're not going to get accidentally disconnected or battery low or whatever, anything else that could happen. So yeah, their cord is definitely for the pros, and very nice that they have this lock-in feature here to keep the cable from just flying off. So on the joysticks, these should just pop right off. So if we pull on them hard enough, they clip out. So there is quite a bit of force that you pull up with. So the one I just popped up is right here, and then we got this one and the one over. So the tallest one here is pretty tall, and the other one here is just round, but the same height as the original one here. So let's go ahead and clip on this pretty tall one, and you guys can see how that looks like. So it's quite a bit taller for maybe better control, as you can be a little more precise if something's taller than when it's shorter. It's more harder to feel how much you went compared to this. You can be really precise. So this is very good for precision. So yeah, lots of options here, guys. So I think I'm just gonna stick to the mediums, but round it up on the top. Feel like that's a good balance. And yeah, we're ready to roll. So going to the back, let's go ahead and try one of each of these levers. They are quite nice and metal, and on the back of it, it does say which side it goes on. Like this one says LB, so LB is this side. And they simply just kind of go in there and then click in. So it's almost like they hold themselves. It's like, I think they're maybe magnetic even, I'm not sure. But yeah, clips in very nice and very cool the way it sits in there. And these are actually really good. I like these paddles. Like it goes naturally with your hand here. So kind of see like maybe even shifting a manual vehicle. Let's say if you were going to use a remote to play like Gran Turismo or something. Let's try this other one, which is more like a toggle. So it literally just falls right in there and holds itself. I would think they're magnetic. Yeah, they are magnetic. I can feel it magnetizing. Very cool. So yeah, that's the 2 different kind there. And yeah, depending on what you're playing and what you want, yeah, they're both really nice. And the clicks are, if you guys can hear, they feel very, very nice. It's like a quality click. And actually everything on the remote feels very nice overall. So for the next part, we're going to plug it into the PlayStation and check out some of the functions and options that we can do with this in software. All right, so here we have a little setup which consists of an LG A2 TV, but it is an OLED. Only downfall to it is limited to 60 frames. Then we got a couple of Edifier G5000 speakers. They're for gaming. They're actually really nice, especially with the little RGB glows. And the TV is on a next level stand that rolls around. And the speakers also have their own stands. And then we have the PlayStation 5 over there, which I painted the caps black with plasti dip so I can reverse it back to the white if I wanted to in the future, as I went with an all black setup. So yeah, I'm really excited to plug the remote in. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to use this port in the front. And I am playing a YouTube video right now, is what the background is. And there is pulsing orange on the remote, which is indicating charging. So the lighting looks very similar. Nothing too special there. So let's go ahead and hit the PlayStation button. And look at that. So we're going to assign this remote. And now we can use it with the PlayStation. And you guys can see we got a prompt there that says that we plugged in the DualSense. And we can get a little tour and get started. So let's go ahead and do that. Click X. So here we can see everything that the DualSense Edge wireless is capable of as we went through, which is really nice. So you can customize all of the buttons, the sensitivity, the speed, and all that stuff, which is great to see all that control. And what's also really cool is that you can switch between the profiles depending on what games you play. So you can create custom profiles to change the settings on the fly. And we got these nice function buttons that we can set profiles for. It looks like I clicked something there. So let's go ahead and set up our controller. So it kind of goes here step by step of what you can do. So we are in the accessories in the DualSense Edge wireless controller, and we're going to click on custom profiles. So let's make a profile and call it GT7 for Gran Turismo. So I want to change these back buttons here for the shifting. I'm going to go all the way down on that picture down there to, I believe it's X and square for the upshift and downshift, but I'm not sure. But yeah, now that we applied for these, and so now all we got to do is just apply it, and we'll go back, and here we have stick sensitivity and dead zone, which you can adjust, and you guys can see as I move it, kind of all moves around in there. So it's on default, but you can do that adjustment here. So if you want to have a bigger dead zone where you can move this around a little bit before it starts moving, you can do that. So yeah, lots of good options here. Also got the trigger dead zone. So as I push it, you guys can see it shows us here. So it's adjusted from 0 to 100, and you can, make it from 10 to 90 or something if you wanted to, depending on what you're doing. Now, if we click the little selector in the back, you guys can see that it still goes straight to 100. So even if you select the different zones of how much it travels, it still goes from 0 to 100. All right, we also have vibration intensity. It's at strong, and trigger effect intensity, which is also strong. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. And it's pretty straightforward, but quite useful features here on the DualSense. So let's go back, and here under our profile, we can also switch between profiles, and that's how you do it. You click function and then circle, and you can change that to these different ones that they have. And then here we can rename it or delete it. So yeah, pretty straightforward, guys. Quite simple. Let's go ahead, get out of this YouTube, go home, go to games, and we'll try out Gran Turismo 7 with this new controller. So I got the trigger motions all the way so I can have nice brake and throttle response. And hopefully we got our back buttons here mapped correctly to manually shift gears. And right away, using this controller, I can feel that everything feels a little more precise, which is kind of interesting in how you push the buttons and the reaction time. Feels very quick and snappy. So let's change our car to, let's say, this Evo here. Choose a track here, and we're gonna see how this works out. All right, so feeling really good on the joystick. Throttle is very precise. Feeling really good. So the square and the X was correct for shifting, but for some reason, our little pedals in the back, they're not activated. So I must have done something wrong. Let's click on function and circle and see what happens. Okay, I must have not actually made that GT7 profile like I thought I did. So let's go home real quick and we'll go back to settings. Let's see, controllers, DualSense controller, custom profiles. Okay, so maybe I never set the, okay, yeah, so I never actually finished it. All right, I think now we're good to go. So if we go back to our game, if we click function and circle, there we go. We changed to our profile. Now I can switch it. So you guys hopefully can see that. I'm switching with the paddles. Let's see how this works. There we go. So I'm literally switching the bottom paddles on the controller. So I think I might have got them backwards though, for my liking. Yeah, guys, it feels really good. And the vibrations are very nice. If I can drive here. Yeah, I gotta switch these paddles around as that's kind of backwards for me. But other than that, this is really nice. Hopefully this little presentation here makes sense, and you know, obviously if you play other games like first-person shooters or things like that, you have quite a bit of customization there with how much the triggers travel. You can remap, you can use the short little paddles for the back or little nubs where you can really get really fast, as these are kind of long and they're a little bit too easy to push by accident. As you guys can see, I just pushed it. Overall, very impressive, and actually has a strong case for itself, as in that it delivers a lot of functionality and customization that your normal controller would not be able to. And the cable lock up here is pretty awesome. So the idea that you can just pop this cover off and change your joysticks is really awesome. And also popping off the caps is a big deal, because on the original remote, one of the caps or the piece of rubber fell off of it, and now it's pretty much useless. And there's no way to change it, not that I know of. And by the way, they do look very similar. They're practically the same size, but the DualSense does have a little bit of weight, or a little more weight, and yeah, lots more functionality, and kind of feels better at the hand, especially on the bottom. You guys can see on the original, it's kind of like flattened out here, but on the DualSense it's more sharp there, or like a nice dome that your hand really enjoys laying on. So yeah, so being able to change the parts is a huge deal, and if one of your joysticks breaks, you can replace that. I think it's about 20 bucks or so. That's most of the time the parts that, you know, wear out. So yeah, you know, if you ruin a normal controller, you have to buy another one. You almost spend as much money as you could have just bought this one. So yeah, it is expensive, and maybe not for everyone, but if you're serious about your gaming and you want a controller that'll last you a long time, this thing is definitely worth it for everything that it has to offer. And also, I love the little case that it comes with, where you can store it all if you want to travel with. All right, well, hopefully this video was pretty useful, enjoyable. If you did like it, then hit that like button. If you want to pick up the remote for yourself, check out the links below, and also check out my other gaming reviews that you might really enjoy, including the speakers, the PlayStation. I've got a few things on the Xbox, and I'll leave the playlist for that. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.